Welcome to the game and table. And since there's a thing, I have to change the thing. You know, guys, we're going to take that again. Just 1 second. Hold on. One moment.
But I had to change my name. I forgot.
Oh, yeah. Also, well, guys, a lot's going on today. Let me just be honest with you.
There's so much.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Deck of Long Lost Things, a game about decks and things, some of which are long lost. My name is Philip, and I'm the Dungeon Master for This is Dungeons & Dragons, and I am joined by a crew of hearty sailing players. Say, deal us in, players.
Deal us in, players.
Deal us in, players.
Deal us in, Bob.
There, deal us in, Bob. There we go. Well, let's get the serious business out of the way. There are a lot more dice have been picked so far. We have the blood red. We have the wolf. We have the mist. Ooh, misty.
Can Dracula turn into a wolf, or what does wolf have to do with?
He can turn into a wolf.
Okay, I haven't.
In fact, werewolves
They're wolves.
Sort of. I mean, I think there are some cultures where it is, but basically, until they decided to make a Wolfman movie, there sort of wasn't difference between Wolfman and werewolves. Or I'm sorry, werewolves and vampires. It was just the same. It's the same stuff. And then
I guess I don't understand because
bats.
a werewolf comes out in the full moon and at night.
Yes, that is the werewolf being the full moon. I don't think that has as much folkloric origin. I think that really was stuff from the movie. Whereas it was just that vampires can also turn into wolves and turn into wolf men. It's scary.
Got it. Okay.
So in any case, if you want to vote for Mist, we already have D6, the percentile, and the D8. I will refresh anyone's memory if they choose to participate in this little guessing game. The reward for a correct answer being heroic inspiration. The wolf has actually had a lot. For wolf, we have D12, D20, D8, D10, and D4. So all that's missing there are D6 and percentile. Blood has D6, D20, D4, and percentile. Ooh. Does me holding this up even mean anything? Oh, and D8 for blood, sorry. And then of the bat symbol, there is D4, D6, D percentile, and D12. So...
What was the last one you pulled out?
The bats. Oh, the last thing I pulled out?
Yeah.
Yesterday was, I think maybe it was a blood percentile. I don't always keep track of what happens, though. If anyone wants to guess, you may. You can also decline to guess if you don't care. Galanorian Saber saying Moon D20. If that's right, Galanorian Saber's gonna get the prize.
What is it?
What do you have the least of?
Mist.
What is there the second least of?
Bat.
What do we have for bat again?
D12, D6, percentile, and D4. Riveting
Moon
television.
bat 20.
Bat D20.
I was gonna say bat D20.
Well, you know what?
He said it first.
No, I thought it before you said it. I can still say it.
You can say it, but what are you going to have your bet be?
Bat D20.
Oh. Okay.
Can I not? Can I not?
No, because it's a prize. The prize goes to the winner.
Then can we just both get a prize?
I'm gonna say mist. Wait, which mist do you have?
6, 8, and percentile.
Okay, I'm
Mist
gonna
20.
do mist 20. Son of a Andrew!
All right, so far it's only 20s. It's Bat D20 for Dan, Moon D20 in chat, Mist D20 for Andrew.
All right, what else is left for bat?
You could do Bat.
Mist D20 for Melina.
Nope. Sorry.
He said it first. And it was
Got
horrible.
it.
KJ, if you want the bat D20, you can have the bat D20.
No, I'd keep your fucking D20.
You could say Bat D8.
Be bat
Bat
D8.
D8.
I'm gonna say mist D8.
We already have Miss D8, but how about a Miss D10?
Mist
Misty
D10.
Okay.
Mist
Do you want to guess?
D10.
No.
Okay, I thought you wouldn't. All right. Miss D10, Miss D20, Bat D8, Bat D20.
I'm sorry, do you feel like you fired me?
Oh, no, that's okay. Yeah, if you would like to do the unveiling, I do.
Yeah, come on, Phil.
apologize,
Vanna
ma'am.
White doesn't pick nut letters.
Okay. 16. Today's the 16th. I didn't realize that. And and it's a blood D12. So after all of that, no one's right.
I was gonna go
Blood-
for blood after Andrew
Is
went
blood
for mist
complete?
too.
Blood is not complete. That is an 8 on the first roll. Blood has 2, 3, 4. Blood is nearly complete. Blood is only missing a D10.
Ooh.
Fascination. So, how'd that feel to everybody? Are we in bad spirits
great.
because boy, what would have happened if it had been one of those D20s that Dan or Andrew had said?
I would have been so mad.
That would have been so
Yeah.
rough. All right,
Look,
friends.
I don't need that
Sometimes things
today.
happen.
Also, no one guessed Wolf anything. Sorry, Wolf. So, let's talk about this little game of ours that we've been playing. In our last session, this will be Kha'rack. This will be a good way to let you know what happened in the session where you were there in spirit, and actually you did a couple things within the thing. You did a scouting mission.
I love when I do things and I don't
But
even
basically,
remember.
our heroes sailed to Throne Key. They had a strange encounter on the waves where they saw some sea beasts kind of being attracted to magic. They sort of drove them away with magic and eventually recovered from sort of some flotsam and jetsam another scrap of card. This one, I think that Wa'api Ino thought it was maybe like a tower of some kind, but he wasn't sure exactly what it represented. You then, Zeely suggested a place not to go, which wound up being where everyone else said, no, that's where we have to go, being Ermine Cove, because she was like, well, that's a place that's, like, off the beaten path, like, ambushed, like, not a proper port, and they're like, yeah, that's where Restitution would go. And Tenacity, realizing that that's a place where you wouldn't be detected by the Haitian trading fleet, as they don't operate out of Ermine Cove, you were like, let's do it.
For no reason in
For no
particular.
reason at all. So you went that way. Tenacity did manage to talk Ashes into just letting you out there rather than going in. Ashes was very happy not to go pay, docking fees in Eminence. So you guys kind of did like a jump off the boat and kind of walk, wade through some water, but you then were guided by Cobalt to a lookout point on the secluded Ermine Cove, where you did, after sundown, see a very ragged rowboat with Restitution rowing in. Restitution then met with some shadowy figures, and some of you overheard kind of some tense words, almost like is this person going to kill Restitution? So it isn't someone who Restitution is a close ally with, but is clearly working with for some stuff. And there were odd references to some other person, to him, to the person who they were going to be delivering these scraps of cards to. You decided to sneak after them and eventually found that whoever these people are in an old pirate fort, one of the kind that Tenacity was like, I guess there still are some of these out here. They haven't all been cleared out. An old pirate kind of tree fort, very Hook vibes, in the middle of the rainforest, lit by a few torches. Kha'rack at this point went off and scouted while the others kind of debated other things. Could we go in here? But Kha'rack said there is a back way in. So if we all want to sort of sneak our way in there, that might be a way to sort of get in. The other options included just marching up and saying, we have a scrap of card, let us in, or trying to get in and then overpowering a guard. You don't know the strength of how many are in there. So far, you have counted, there's at least 4 people inside that you have seen. There was one guard at the gate who let them in, and then 2 people who met Restitution and Restitution herself. And basically, I think you had decided to sneak around to that back passage. So that's where we'll be picking up, with you guys about to infiltrate this fort in the dead of night. I gave you the option that we were going to do this as a group check. In other words, so that the Zeelies and the Lux of the world don't ruin things by not being good at stealth. It'll be a kind of if the whole group can pass, then you're fine. With that, shall we do secrets? Secret things, strange things, or many things for our draw today?
I mean, we're doing something, involving subterfuge and whatever, so I think secrets is the way to go.
I grabbed the secrets deck, assuming that's what you'd said, but there's a part of me that was like, is Dan going to be really funny and be like, we're doing secrets and subterfuge, so many? Okay,
I'm not funny, Philip, that's the problem.
Oh, Dan, come on. Please don't sell yourself short.
That was the joke I was gonna make, Phil, but whatever.
I do apologize. All right. Well, Dan, as you're the one who sort of called for it.
I would like the 13th one from the bottom, please. I know Philip loved that.
Just say that from the start, then, bro. Don't make her go.
I didn't think of it until now.
She's just taking the one from the top. It's hilarious. What do we got? The Diviner.
Ooh, isn't that the card I drew?
Wow, that
Oh, I drew
is
the
in
seer.
fact-
I drew
No,
the seer,
you did
right?
the sage, right? Or the seer?
You drew the.
I
No,
drew
I
seer.
think. Did you not draw the
No.
Diviner? You did the seer. Yeah, you did the eyes all over your face. The Diviner. Ah. The Diviner. The pursuit, the Two of Stars. The pursuit of knowledge tempered by wisdom, truth and honesty, sages and prophecy. But it is definitely a card that bears some similarity to your very own Cobalt Rainsilver. Cobalt Rainsilver.
Thank you.
I
Thank
really
you.
need to not swallow that second vowel because everyone says it sounds like I'm saying kobold. Well. Oh, I also always tell you this just because you guys like to know. Had you drawn that, this is actually, that's a huge card to have if you ever drew this for this game. The next time you draw from a magical deck, you can draw 2 cards and choose which you want.
Ooh.
Yeah. So it gives you basically you can get a choice between 2 things. Wonderful. Well. So.
Does
my
it go
friends.
back in?
Yeah, you can put it back in wherever you'd like. Maybe 13 from the bottom. Grand. So, friends, is there anything anyone would like to do before you attempt to sneak your way into this fort?
Does it involve any climbing? This sneak?
You know what? Yes, I can say that perhaps we can have your sneaking be you'll still be at disadvantage, but you can use your strength for it rather than your thing, because you are kind of having to, yeah, you do have to do some climbing. It's a short enough climb that it's not going to be like like you don't need an athletics check specifically for it, but you are going to climb up a little and kind of going through a window that Kha'rack had already sort of peeked in, and it seems like a safe enough entry point.
Oh, no, I trust I can do it. I just wanted to ask Tenacity if she knew of a way of climbing without getting soot on our outfits.
No, but
Don't climb.
I can just clean it after with a little magic.
Mine or yours?
Either, both.
Okay.
Well, any other business? I like determining the dry cleaning situation ahead of time is very wise. So with that, I do need everyone in our group to roll a stealth check, and I am going to, and yours is unfortunately a disadvantage because you are in your cool heavy armor. I am, however, going to wait on if you guys can get 3 successes for the group. I won't roll Jed's, but if you have 3 failures and you're like in danger, I can roll his to get you to even, and then we'll see how things go.
That is a 14 for me.
14.
13 for me.
Stealth, right?
Stealth, please.
3.
A bitch, man.
3. The heavy armored paladin does the predictable roll.
I'm trying to go.
Are you opening your sheet?
Yeah.
Cool.
19.
19. Wow. Okay, well, you guys are in pretty good shape here. with a 13, a 14, a 19, a 3, not so good. We're gonna assume Wabino can do it. If you just want to roll, Kha'rack, your stealth is a +6 is your modifier.
Okay, I was looking for. Yeah, I got a 6, so +6, 12.
12. Great. So the resident rogue actually kind of we'll say that maybe Kha'rack makes some noise in the process of stopping Zeely from making noise. So that kind of maybe Kha'rack is a little louder than she otherwise would have been because she's Zeely just whacks some branch and her armor or pauldron is just boing, just Kha'rack's but as a group, you manage to climb in. Anyone who'd like to can do a perception check, but no one is present where you sort of enter. You're in sort of a on some kind of walkway. There's wood planking and some kind of old pieces of metal kind of on the wall. It's in a lot of moss. It's a very kind of thrown together, musty, scented thing. Any perception rolls?
8.
22.
Tenacity, as far as you're concerned, no one knows where you are. No one has ever known where you are.
Nailed it.
Cobalt, as far as you're concerned, no one knows where you are, and you're confident, and that's correct. Okay. So, in addition, Cobalt, with a 22, you hear some voices. A loud sort of voice, a man's voice speaking, in a, kind of in almost stentorian sort of projecting. He's kind of, speaking with some authority. And you suspect that he is probably... It sounds like he is speaking to more than one person. It sounds like he may be speaking to a crew of some kind.
Can I make out what he's saying?
Yes, provided. Let me look at your.
And can we tell what direction it's coming from?
I speak Celestial, Key Speech, Royal Tongue, and Uplander.
Interestingly, though you understand some of this, he is saying a few things in Key Speech.
I cast Comprehend Languages.
Okay, cool. So, so if Cobalt tells you that this, you don't hear him yet because you rolled an 8 on your perception.
Okay.
I hear some Key Speech. Is it intermixed with another language, or what?
It is intermixed with another language. Give me an investigation roll. Let's see if you recognize. You'll. I'm sure you recognize it, but let's just see if you,
8.
Sort of, 8. You're just not sure what the other language is. But if you want to, you can be telling everyone else to start listening.
Yeah, I'll whisper hey, there's someone's talking. I can't tell what language it's in, but.
And now I cast Comprehend Languages.
Perfect. All right, Tenacity. So
if I just for my own edification, if I cast Comprehend Languages,
yeah,
I understand it, but do I also happen to know what language it is being spoken?
That's a very good question. I don't think you do automatically.
Okay.
Once he says to listen, can I try to hear it?
Yeah, you can do a perception check.
18.
18. With an 18, you also hear it.
But I can speak it.
You can speak what?
Right?
Oh well, no. You also understand some words, but there's another thing that's not in it. Why don't you also? So basically, Tenacity, who's now actively listening. Tenacity, you are picking up some stuff. Go ahead and give me an investigation roll as well. Let's see if you happen to know what it is, because Cobalt was not sure. With an 11, you think it's Gleam. You think that it is the Gleam speech that is what they speak in the Gem Coast.
I'm just gonna whisper that.
Okay.
Don't I speak a bunch of languages?
Kha'rack, you speak so many languages. However, Gleam is not one of them.
Do I speak that? No.
You do speak Gleam. You speak Key Speech, Laughing, Gleam, and
Am
Silent
I
Speech.
able to tell after I cast the spell if I'm understanding it because of the spell, or if I'm understanding it because I already knew the fucking language?
I think you do know that you already know the language, yes.
God fucking damn. Okay.
Oh, sorry, you knew Gleam. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's how it goes.
It's fine. I have tons of spell slots to spare, so. cares?
In any event, but Cobalt, you with your high perception from earlier, they're now identifying that it is Gleam. Zeela's like, I think it's Gleam, and Luck is like, oh, I'm picking up some words, and Tenacity is, I am too, despite my magic. But you know where they are. You understand kind of going down, sort of kind of going to the passage to the left. You think it will be getting louder. That's where the sound is coming from.
I won't say anything, but I'll just kind of point in that direction, and then go and then put a hand on my lips, indicating that we should stay shutted the fuck up.
Perfect. All right. I will not make you guys roll another stealth check right now. We'll say that it will carry over to this portion as well, but this will be the end. This now ends your sort of successful stealthing. Cobalt, you lead them down like a passage or two, watching out. You don't really see anybody like on patrol or anything, but you eventually come to a sort of passageway that seems to be like a catwalk or balcony or something that's like a higher passage in a larger chamber that kind of is probably below the ground in like the biggest central part of this massive tree where this fort, this kind of the trunk of this tree down to the roots. And sure enough, the walls of this are all the inside of a tree kind of roots, you know, in all ways, but it's been decorated over decades, and there's a lot of soot on the walls and torches burning, and it's clearly this has been a pirate hangout. There's just the pleasant or unpleasant, depending on your predilections, scent of like old spilled rum, black powder. That's kind of the vibe of this room. A lot of smoke. As you guys sort of creep in, however, your sort of last stealthing act from that roll is that you are on this walkway. You can kind of peek over the rope and paneled sort of balustrades on it, or the banisters, and down below are maybe 10 people wearing black cloaks. Restitution is clearly among them. Her hood is down. Some of the others' hoods are up. It does seem to be a lot of tieflings, but there are a couple of dragonborn, and there is one like Goliath sort of sitting kind of off to one side in a black cloak, kind of just like has a big sword and is just kind of, you know, polishing it sort of idly, while a figure kind of in the center of them standing on like we'll say he's standing on a barrel. That's funny. There's this guy like standing on a barrel, you know, kind of speaking to all of them. And Restitution is standing in the head, and this guy is holding the pack that you saw Restitution bring in. Those of you who speak Gleam, he's occasionally saying some stuff in key speech to like the larger group, or to others, but he's mostly speaking in Gleam, and he is talking about how Restitution has done great work, and that everyone needs to be pulling this much weight in the party. He has a sort of very kind of authoritative kind of voice and bearing. His hood is up, but you believe...
How far are they?
They're maybe like 30 feet down below you. Maybe 20 feet, you know, not... Like, you could jump and it might hurt a little bit kind of thing.
Well, I just, like, if I were to kind of, like, whisper the general, like, idea, not word for word, but the general idea of what he's saying to the group to kind of, like, quickly translate, do I think that would be caught?
Given all the sort of, like, shuffling down there, I think, and the fact that languages in D&D games are mean, yes, you can kind of quietly convey the broader points. But you also do notice, maybe you'll stop doing that after a moment, because he does keep switching to key speech and repeating, you know, major points again. So he's he's almost like translating for those who don't speak Gleam. But it seems like to him, Gleam is kind of the more Gleam is Tenacity and Luck. You can both tell that Gleam is definitely this guy's like first and preferred language. So he's a gem coaster probably, or at least that's what he speaks better than the key speech. But he's holding this bag, and he is basically sort of saying like, this next part will be in key speech because he's kind of wanting more people to understand. But he will say, Restitution is successful in having come to do what here has been happened. Restitution, a worthy act and loyal act has been done. I'm making it sound weird because he doesn't So basically, as he pulls in and says, many writings, many drafts. And he sort of pauses. And then he says in Gleam, the tenacity and luck understand, restitution, what is this? And he pulls out a box. The box is about 2 or 3 inches wide, maybe an inch deep, maybe 6 inches long. It is a box of wood. Tenacity, actually anyone, you can all see him doing this, anybody can make a perception check to try to get a closer look at it from up here. It's you're a bit distant from it, so to get any details you'll need a high
7
roll.
for me, so no.
Yeah.
11.
11, yeah.
8.
It's the shadow, the angle. You know there's a box about this size, but you can't see any discerning
Perception, yeah.
Perception, yeah.
Oh yeah, 8.
Yeah, that's a good group. Like no one quite, kind of 8 to 11 vibe. Yeah. He holds this box and he is sort of now in Gleam speaking to Restitution far more kind of.
He doesn't know what that box is.
He's asking Restitution. Restitution, what is this? And she replies in Gleam. It was it was with the other items there. It was. I did not go through it all more than just to. He says, never mind that now.
She doesn't know either.
Did you make any attempt to open this box, Restitution? No, I did. He kind of gives her a look and she says, in order to confirm that it was what we were looking for, yes, I did try to pick it open with a knife, but I was worried about damaging it or destroying it. It is, despite not having a lock, it seems very, very tightly put together.
She couldn't even get it open.
He says, yes. I believe, Restitution, that you may have done a much better job than I anticipated, which means that foolish Dragonborn was more adept at thwarting our honorable organization than I'd realized. Those of us who believe in the cards, we have heard rumblings of cards that have already been fully constructed. And then he'll sort of say some of this in key speech, but he says, within this box, there may be a card, a true card, from the deck of a long-lost things. There's like a rumble of activity. The Dragonborn who had brought in the Dragonborn who met her on the beach and kind of was a little threatening. He brought her in. He'll say, "Well, why don't we pop it open then? Give ourselves a look." The tiefling in charge of the head. In key speech, he'll say, "We are not doing anything hasty. Being always scared and careful, cautious." Restitution will sort of nod and tenacity or luck. You guys could make an insight roll here.
16.
4.
I'm gonna say, tenacity, that you have a sense and you can continue hilariously, conveying
Accurate
this to the
and
group.
briefly.
Yep. Accurately and briefly, and it can also still be hilarious. Hilarious things are usually very accurate. Satire. So you have a sense that, like, Restitution, didn't kind of want to admit that she had opened the box, but this guy's, like, very intrigued by it. But you can tell that, like, he doesn't know exactly how to open this box, but he does think there could be something very important with it. So there's a clear sense of, import here. There's there's a sense of like this is a very key thing for this group of whatever these cultists are, whatever this organization is. And you are getting very big cult vibes, if that was not clear up to this point. It's not just criminals, there's like a religious or sort of a devotional quality to the energy. But he will say, yes. In Gleam, he will say, Restitution, you've done very well. You may rest for now. I will see what secrets I can uncover from this. Restitution says, I am very happy to help you do this if you want my assistance. And he will kind of mull that and say, get some rest, but your assistance is welcome. Then in key speech to everyone, he'll say, go, drink, enjoy your evening. Play cards, draw cards, those decks you have. Embrace magic within the drawing of them. And then he'll sort of kind of take that box and kind of step to one side. The others, led by that dragonborn, will begin to like pull out, rums and things, and just kind of gather in little things. And you do actually notice at one of the tables, a bunch of them do kind of gather, and one pulls out a deck of cards and starts dealing as if they're like playing a game.
They're playing cards and not these like deck cards, right?
They seem to be playing a game of cards. So, that is our situation. I'm going to give a super brief recap of that to Wa'api basically, you guys snuck in. There seems to be some weird cult of people down below you who are all about cards. They're speaking in Gleam. I don't know if that's a language you speak, but they're also, somebody down there is also translating into key speech. And they are...
and up here.
And up here. And there is a... within the pack that Restitution brought them, there seems to be a box that she could not open, and that this sort of leader doesn't know how to open, but he has taken that box. He has told them to now sort of be merry. He needs to sort of think on this for a while, and he has kind of stepped aside. He's probably disappeared, actually, from the chamber at this point. So there's maybe like 8 people down there kind of resting. Restitution even sort of sits down, gets some rum and some water. She's exhausted. So that is the situation where you find yourselves. If you want to, you could withdraw back into the sort of first area where you were, or you could continue on this catwalk above them, but that will require another stealth check. If you retreat, no stealth is required. If you continue across this, which is the direction though below, you're above, but below in that way, that's where this guy went when he sort of went out the other end of this room below you. So, what would you guys like to do?
Well, Tenacity will just kind of look back and assume we're gonna turn back, but she won't move until other people do.
Okay. She'll kind of like
as if it's like a line, like
yeah.
Having just arrived, I will follow what everybody else is deciding to do.
No, you should come in. You should come in hot with. Let's obviously do this. Okay. Well, in that case, let's roll for railroading. Okay, so meanwhile, you hear down below you some member of the group saying, "I'm gonna go. I think I'll go sit up on the catwalk and have my rum up there."
Tenacity's just gonna open her eyes wider and, kind of imply we should be moving with her head.
I'll like jerk my head back, like in the way we came from.
You guys will withdraw. Okay, understood. So you have now gotten back to where you were. So far, no one has come that way. You see this guy beginning. He is going to come up to the catwalk, but there was like a corner or two between there, so he won't see you even if he's on the catwalk once you've cut back a couple of steps.
Did they allow you to check out any books from the temple when you're studying to be a paladin?
Certainly.
Could I have checked one out and stowed it?
Yes, we'll do a luck roll on that. You can roll a d20 for me to see what sort of book.
4?
The only it's just a luck, so there's you don't have a modifier. You do have a book with you, but you're pretty sick of reading it, and you kind of grabbed it like very sort of just like haphazardly, and it is like a deeply unpleasant like account of just very like varying like boils and diseased flesh that can happen to people, and like means of magical healing of it. It's not a fun book, and the illustrations are worse.
I just want to check the appendix on it if there happens to be any note of what to do in this exact situation.
Understood. Go ahead and do an investigation check.
22? No, 20.
20. With a 20, you are confident there is no. Okay. You kind of look through it, you go, that wouldn't be in here. Oh, I should have grabbed that infiltration book instead. Oh well.
I'm just gonna stay close to Tenacity, trying to like walk where she has walked so I don't make noise.
Sounds good. You guys have now withdrawn to a point where you think you could, if you're speaking low, probably not be immediately overheard.
What's the protocol here?
I don't know. I thought you knew what you were doing.
I do not. Sorry, I'm having trouble answering this without lying. I can't.
It's okay to lie. We all do it.
It's also okay to not know what to do in a situation that's not uncommon.
Thank you for...
I often don't know what to do.
Well, does anyone have an idea?
You're among good company. None of us know really what we're doing. So.
Okay.
But what?
So there's a question. I mean, if we're trying to follow this card, do we want to do a stakeout here? Basically, do we want to watch and see what they do? Do we want to try and sneak in later in night, when maybe like the revelry has caused them all to pass out, and try and steal it, or do we want to try and make contact with Restitution and turn her to our side, or at least learn more about her motives? There are plenty of ways to go about this here, but we just have to figure out what we want to do and then be clear in our actions and direct in our motives.
I want to stay and camp out here until everyone goes to sleep.
All right, so we have a vote for that.
Well, so I'm pretty sure what at least the main guy is gonna do is try and open that box, because he believes there's a finished card in that box. And I also don't think that Restitution can be persuaded to be on anyone's side, because she lied to that guy about not trying to open up the box. And if she's helping that guy and she's still lying to him, I don't think we should trust a single thing that comes out of her mouth.
Well,
perhaps what we could trust is that she's self-interested, so we could use that to our advantage.
make it clear to her that working with us is in her self-interest, or at least figure out what her interests are, and then see how we can align with them.
We could
Just
capture
remember-
her and torture her, because it's in her interest to not be tortured.
We're not going to do that.
Just an idea.
Let's just remember.
It's just like see Kha'rack go, whatever.
Was it the Dragonborn's box originally?
I believe so.
Kha'rack, did you recognize it as or that you might know how to open it?
Did I recognize it?
None of you got a good look at it. Universally, you didn't get a good look at it.
Did I recognize any other Dragonborns there?
I don't think. Well, there is that. No, I don't think you would have recognized any of the Dragonborn present.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, did I recognize the lead guy just from like
you did not.
being around this area?
And given that he's speaking Gleam, he's probably not from around here so much.
Wait, but isn't Gleam?
Gleam is spoken here a fair bit, but his faltering use of key speech means he's definitely not like a skeleton.
Got it.
guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think that conversing with prostitution makes a lot of sense since she killed the last person she was talking with and was partners with. So I wouldn't trust her to be
Well, we don't know if they're
partner with us.
Are they partners though? I mean, but yeah, I mean, I'm a fan of talking to her. I don't know. I feel like we have that connection. We, you know.
I am a fan of hurting her.
I know you are.
Yeah,
I
that's
know
something
you
you
are,
should
dear.
probably talk about to
It's
someone.
just
but-
efficient.
But I was gonna say perhaps the one thing we can all agree on is that if that is a finished card in there, it would be better off in our hands
Yes.
than in theirs.
Well, I
Yeah,
don't
even
know
just
you
to,
guys
like-
as well.
I mean, do you trust us? Who do you trust? Us as a group, or a bunch of people who meet in the night in black cloaks? It's not.
I trust you
Kill
guys.
people.
I guess more than the people who are that I just met in here, but
I
don't know
like
if I
gives a
was
side eye
the card.
to Kha'rack's like black cloak that she's wearing.
Oh, you mean her stolen like monk's frock
Yeah.
with the,
Frock,
with
yeah.
the perfect the blood wounds that you can't see because she murdered whoever wore it so perfectly. Yeah, sure.
I see him looking at me, and I think he's checking me out.
So if you are going to sort of post up here, you can sort of wait a few hours and just hope no one comes for you. If you're going to attempt to and then presumably go after this guy and sort of under cover of shadow, or you could go to you could go and find restitution, which two of you want to do. It sounds like two of you really want to go after restitution for very different reasons. And the other four are less committed to the idea of going after restitution for any reason. Is that an accurate read? Great.
Yeah. I'm very flexible.
I mean, also in a broader sense, the question is: do we want to be more proactive or reactive to the situation?
Well, I feel like we just don't know what we're looking. I mean, we don't have a good sense of. Unfortunately, the one person who had an idea of what he wanted us to do is now dead, and also had a horrible bedside manner, so kind of deserved it. So,
Are we gonna let restitution get away though?
no.
Then maybe she's priority then.
Do we still have our rough draft?
Well, Kha'rack has the rough draft of a pyramid-like thing, and Wa'api Ino has the rough draft, like a scrap of something that he thought was a tower. So you do have those two rough draft cards with you.
Wait, how did we get those?
You found yours on the beach, and they found theirs bobbing in the sea last session.
Oh, mine. Oh, got it.
The one you came in and just demanded answers from everyone. Yeah.
Okay.
DM.
Yes.
After seeing that box that was locked,
Yes.
do I have any sense
Oh, and
that
you would have heard this part good. It was not locked, but they couldn't open it. Which
right?
No roll.
Right, okay.
You have an art. Are you proficient in Arcana?
No, I'm not.
I am.
Then Tenacity knows and has probably already mentioned that it is.
How am I not?
Well, a lot of warlocks aren't, because they're just too busy being having
Busy
skin the
wheeling
color of the
wheeling.
reflection of the moon, cheekbones that you could cut other cheekbones with.
No, I mean it's not. I'm not just a pretty face.
Sure.
I'm
You're the
also
nepo
a
baby
pretty
of
body.
magicians.
Exactly. The
You're
point
the nepo
being,
baby of magicians. You've been giving it to you.
Yeah.
Never had to learn it.
No, well, I do a lot of research. I had to look. I'm a sort of self-made magician. No, we're not gonna go down that route on this character.
Yeah, please, let's get, let's, we've done that already.
You just let that one go.
And
You just let
it
that
didn't
one
end
go.
well for it.
No.
Yeah, but yes, perhaps Tenacity would have sort of mentioned you're fairly, since someone here is proficient in Arcana and you heard it, you're pretty sure it is magically sealed as opposed to.
Do I have a sense though? Okay, so getting back to what I wanted to say, do I have a sense that this box could have, like, the cards that we've taken could have somehow come out of this box?
Interesting. Go ahead and do it.
Because it seems strange to me that we've just happened to find this card floating, but then also this box is unable to be opened.
I see. Well, you would have seen when Acid Frost was going through this pack that they've taken this out of, that there are many scraps of cards and like bundles of drafts of cards within it. But go ahead and do an Arcana check.
Okay. I do have that's a 20.
A 20. You think while it is possible that could be generating them, given that those scraps are much lower magic and like at best that rough draft was able to sort of summon some stuff out of it, you don't think that the card is a source of rough drafts. You think that, or the box rather, you don't think that box is like a source of just like little scraps and things. You think the box is probably, the box may contain something a little more substantive.
Right. Okay, so just the last thing I'm trying to actually get at is like, does seeing the shape of the box make me think one way or the other that the card that we found was planted in some way, like was specifically
was left as a breadcrumb for you?
Yes.
I think the shape of the box is definitely shaped like it would hold a card or a deck of cards within it. But I think it's more about, you see the pack. The pack has like holes in it and is very sort of rough and tumble. So the idea that stuff's just falling out of it seems perfectly plausible. You can make an insight roll though if you'd like, just to see if you, knowing Restitution and your deep connection to her.
7.
Well, 7?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna just go the other direction then. Luck, you're almost positive that Restitution left that card for you to find specifically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe she's like trying to say something. It happens so often, actually. I get so many gifts just left on my doorstep. Anyway. I was just talking about that. I don't know why I thought that was appropriate for me to say, but
No, it's quite all right.
Well, in that case, if you guys are going to rest a bit, there is no need for like. Oh, I suppose if you. Well, better question. It is now a couple hours after nightfall. You don't know how long these guys sort of go into the night. So, how long do you want to wait before you start kind of creeping around and trying to see what you can see?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Can you clarify for me again? There's a bunch of cultists here.
You are kind of like on like an upper level. No one has really come this way yet. There are a bunch of cultists within this kind of, sort of giant tree trunk down in the ground where the roots are. That's where that like meeting room was. So you're in this tree fort kind of area. No one's come up to where you are now, so they're saying we're just gonna like rest here and then maybe go in a little bit once maybe they all fall asleep.
Gotcha.
As
and the guy with
opposed
the box is
the guy with the box went like to another room. You backtracked to the opposite side of sort of the trunk and root system where you would come in from, rather than, because what you could have done is in that moment you guys could have said let's go and tried to stealth in his direction and go right after him, but you've instead elected to sort of slow play it and
Understood.
wait.
Understood.
So the question is how long. Also, would you rather? You are absolutely going to be safer if you climb out and camp in the woods and then sneak back in. No one will probably come upon you there, but it's more convenient to stay here.
And where did restitution go?
Restitution was sitting down, drinking rum, kind of like relaxing after having rode all day.
With the other cultists?
With the other cultists who are playing cards.
Does anyone?
And now you know at least one cultist is up on the catwalk where you guys were.
How many can we see?
From where you are, none. You guys snuck out of there since one was coming
how many
up.
did we see?
There were around, counting the guy who was talking, there were like maybe 12 people total. There's the guy who's talking, there's restitution, and 10 unnamed guards and people. But there could be others as well. You don't know, but that's how many were. It's at least that many.
I want to use my stealth ability and stay and keep an eye on restitution. I don't want to take my.
You want to sneak back and see restitution, okay?
Yeah, I'm gonna just try to stay out of sight for as long as I can, but I don't want to lose track of restitution.
Understood. Okay, so you guys see Kha'rack preparing to sort of sneak back in there. Does anyone say anything about this, or?
Kha'rack, just so you know, if you go in there, we're not all going to be able to follow you as well, so you might be on your own.
Okay.
You all right with that?
Mhm.
All right.
Bye.
All right. Kha'rack, give me a stealth roll. You do have a +6, which is pretty good.
Ooh, 24.
24, yes. Kha'rack, you sneak kind of very softly through kind of the one turn, then the other, getting back to where that catwalk was. The voices from below are carrying, it's kind of like a dull murmur of just everyone talking. You hear the occasional like grumble or cheer, presumably from a card game. But everyone down there is kind of talking, voices carrying. I mean, you probably didn't hear this dull roar from where you are, but like once you're there, you really hear it. You, with a 24, you do manage to sort of sneak right to the edge of the catwalk where you see there are two of the cultists. One of them is the Dragonborn who sort of met restitution. The other is another Dragonborn. And they are both sort of like sitting, like legs dangling over the edge of the catwalk, sitting on the catwalk, the place that you guys previously listened from. And they're there and they're just like drinking a bottle of rum. And you can very clearly hear him. They don't see you, although if you walked onto the catwalk, even with a 24 stealth, they probably would, since you're standing next to them. But they're sort of the guy, the Dragonborn. He's sort of just grumbling, like, I don't, I was promised, fortune and adventure and drawing things, and I thought, I thought the cult of the cards would be something a little more, rewarding. The other Dragonborn says, yeah, but, it can't always just be, you gotta have faith, right? You believe the cards have power. Of course I believe the cards have power. That's why I'm here. I've seen the power of it. Well, not myself, but I've seen it indirectly, haven't I? Haven't we all? Yeah, so, just gotta have some faith, right? Yeah, faith is... I don't like that tiefling what brought the cards in. I don't like there's all these tieflings telling us what to do, acting all mysterious. And, we have horns too, lest anyone forget. Oh, I suppose that's right. So they're just... I could go on like this and shouldn't. The point is they're just grumbling. Yeah.
Do, how different does my cloak look compared to everyone else's?
It is pretty different. Yours is a little like thicker and kind of more whatever. But I in a pinch it would maybe look like it was,
Do they like, does everybody know everybody there?
It seems small enough that they probably would recognize, it seems like a smaller thing. Yeah. And no one's wearing masks, so it is kind of just they see your face.
Okay. And there's two of them.
There's two of them, yeah.
The ability to incapacitate them without killing them?
You certainly do, but you're gonna have to roll for it, and all they have to do is scream, and then everyone knows you're there. Melina, I'm gonna say something, and then I want you to do whatever you want to do. Okay? There's a D&D concept that new players often have to learn by just actually doing it. called where a lot of people say don't split the party, which is this is a subset of it, but it's basically it's don't just go off and do a thing without the sort of backup of everyone, because you are in, especially at level 1, you're in grave danger. Now, that being said, do what you would do. It's fine. And honestly, if you die at level 1 and just have to make a new character, that's kind of interesting. So,
Don't die.
like you should 100% do what you think Kha'rack would do in this moment, but Kha'rack also has been around long enough to probably recognize that these are not good odds. This is not an optimal situation. Honestly, Kha'rack, if these two guys were sitting on a battlement alone, maybe you go and you try to push one off and stab the other. Like that, like maybe you do that. But two guys sitting here with all their friends below them in obvious view of you, you're probably like, this might not be the best choice.
And they haven't said anything that we don't already know.
No, I mean they're referring to the cult of the cards. They seem to be having some frustrations with,
Yeah.
have a frustration with it. So you're getting some more color on it, but no, there's no color or context. But no, there's you haven't got new stuff. Give me a perception check though, Kha'rack, while you're there. Actually, this is what you came here for. I just got into the drama of these two Dragonborn, but let's do your stated task first.
Where's my perception? 26.
26. You, however, you ignore them and look down and you see that Restitution, maybe 20-30 minutes have passed by the time you go back. Restitution is kind of stretching her arms, as if she'd just been rowing all day and sipping some rum and eating some sort of like bread and cheese. And she kind of watches the card game. She's not participating, but she keeps looking in the direction where that leader went, where you saw him disappear before you guys retreated. And after a few moments, she actually does kind of stand up and brush the crumbs off of her cloak, and maybe even like she even gives a look, but since your stealth was so good, you can kind of like lean into the shadows. She kind of just looks around and looks up at those two Dragonborn and kind of glares at them, and then she proceeds to go in the direction where that leader guy went.
Okay. I want to follow her, but I don't want to go alone.
Yeah, and following her across these guys, you'd have to it's very hard to follow with how many people are below without being seen.
All right, I'll go back to the group.
Understood. You sneak back. So the rest of you, who are probably all kind of like sitting in a ready position in case you hear a lot of screaming from the other room, and you'll have to make that decision. And are we going to save Kha'rack, or is this where we're just jumping out of the But Kha'rack does come back in, and you haven't heard any screams of death and or detection.
I'm asking Tenacity if is this the kind of soot that you or your servants know how to get off?
Did I say servants?
You don't know how to clean your own armor? No one taught you that? Or you just don't want to do it? Or
Oh no, I'm excited to have it on there. I just want to make sure it can get clean. I haven't tried personally, no.
Guys. Restitution just...
Tenacity will just be casting mending to clean it, I guess.
Just press the digitation?
No, I took mending.
Oh, well, mending doesn't clean. Mending fixes.
Okay.
Mending the dirt from...
Yeah, I'm mending the dirt off.
You can cast, you can cast mending and buff out like a dent, but it will remain dirty.
Can she mend the soot back from which it came?
KJ's face.
Exactly.
I feel like KJ is like really close to killing me.
Sorry.
She's very close to just murdering me, and it's sad.
Bits of charcoal start appearing
like
in
the charcoal starts like reforming into like a perfect briquette for a grill. Like,
Okay, so Tenacity is gonna realize the mistake she made when she said she could clean it. with magic, so she's just gonna take her own cloak and start dusting her thing,
Thank you.
like a corner of it or something.
It doesn't seem that indelible. I bet it will come off soon.
Yeah.
All right. So yes, Kha'rack.
Okay. Can we follow her, please?
What did you? What did she go somewhere?
She went and she followed the big dragon guy, the leader guy. Does he have a name?
I have.
You haven't
don't
heard.
know
He's a
it.
tiefling, and you have not heard his name.
Oh, tiefling.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay. Haven't heard. Okay.
The
we don't know
leader,
his
though.
name.
Yes. He hasn't been addressed as anything.
I think we really only, as far as I can tell, we really only have two options here because it seems like there's too many folks here for us to just handle as a group.
Well, I mean,
Straight up.
we have to fight our way through or wait.
Right. Well, what I was going to say is they've separated themselves. We could try to do what we need to do while they're, get the box from the leader and maybe deal with, restitution. That's not bad odds, but can we do it fast enough before the rest of the pirates find out about it? Question. Or we just wait and see where they take it next. But I think it does come down to those two choices. Either
Right.
we try to take it while we're here, or we just follow them to the next spot, which who knows what that'll be, where it could be, and what we can do at that point.
Do we know that there is a next spot?
No.
Did I see where they were going exactly?
You understand where it is. You don't know. There very well could be another passage that would go there, but you don't know of any. The catwalk seems to connect to where they're going, but that's blocked and visible from below.
Okay. All right. So at this point we've lost them.
We have a general idea of where they are. Sure, we can find them. It is only one tree we're in.
I mean, alternatively, we can set fire to the treehouse and smoke them out.
That would definitely
True.
cause problems.
On purpose?
What do we do about the...
Well, if we're trying
I'm
to
not
create a
saying that's the best
distraction,
idea.
setting fire to something might put them on edge. But if we get some of the cultists to start a drunken fight, that might be normal here. And I don't mean to make too many assumptions on that, but I am. So maybe we can just trick them into fighting each other and use that confusion.
That's a great idea.
So how do we? Any suggestions for how we trick them, thusly?
Besides the cloak, do they have any unifying?
None that you've immediately seen from what observations you've had.
Can we use the copy of the card that we have?
Kha'rack's
I
draft.
mean-
Sure.
We could try.
I don't use magic.
I feel like we
I
could
don't
also.
know how to.
I just also wonder if there's a way for us to just speak to.
Just try and convince them that we want in on whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
Like we don't.
I
What
feel like
about-
perhaps
what is our end goal?
Perhaps I mean I feel like perhaps the way to do this is like again to appeal to her not self-preservation but her self-interest, that we say we know we're here to help you do whatever you're doing.
Do
What
we
do we
know what
want?
she wants to
Yeah.
do?
We don't know, but we also I don't feel like we have a good way of like there's no good like there's too many of them. There's like I feel like she is our best chance of staying with the card. I just don't know if the only question I have is what we can offer her.
Would she want the cards we have back?
She didn't seem too
She
careful
dropped
to
both of
keep
them.
If
dropped
she wanted
both
us
of
to
them.
find them, but yeah, why? Well, then she knows that we're here if she left those for us.
She has no way of knowing if we're here or not if she hasn't seen us.
Well, she's hoping that we're here if she left them for us. She's intending for us to follow her.
That's a big assumption too.
Did she leave it on purpose or not?
I don't think so. No, I mean, it could. The pack was in pretty bad shape, so they could have just fallen out.
Could I?
She said as much on the boat too. Sorry,
No.
nasty.
Could I cast disguise self, just to kind of make me look, give myself a black cloak like them, and I guess look like, just look like a boyish version of me, maybe with darker skin.
You absolutely can do that. You also can cast detect self to look precisely like Restitution or that leader who you saw if you wanted to be a person, Yeah, you absolutely could cast detect self on yourself, though.
Okay, well, that's an option.
Yeah.
But my initial plan was just to look like one of them,
Okay.
get close enough, kind of pretend I'm also drunk, and then use Mage Hand to push them around and make them think the other ones are pushing the other ones around and make them fight.
Understood. So kind of trying to use Mage Hand to kind of... You can't really move people with Mage Hand. It has
I don't want to move people. I want to shove people.
Yeah, you can't really shove. You can't really, but you could use it to knock stuff around. Yeah, there's stuff you could do with it certainly.
I mean,
Could she use it to throw a pebble from near one of them to hit another one?
I think throwing a pebble that feels Mage Handable, or just moving a pebble rapidly into
Good
another.
question.
Yes.
How authoritative is the leader?
The leader seemed
Like,
very
do
authoritative.
these
very authoritative.
they listen to everything he says, kind of thing?
Yes.
One option, tenacity, would be to just pretend to be the leader and command them to, you could say that that Restitution stole the card and that everybody needs to go out and find her, that she's in the woods heading towards the bay. That might empty the whole keep for us.
Does it change my voice?
Disguise self, I don't believe changes your sound, but it's a brand new game with this 2024 reboot, so let's go to the text, baby! Let's see. Disguise self. All right, D&D 2024, here we go. You make yourself, including your clothing, armor, weapons, and other belongings on your person, to look different until the spell ends for an hour. You can see him shorter, taller, blah, 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 adopt a form, same as arrangement of limbs. Yeah, you're good on that. The chains to wrap the spell fail to hold up to physical inspection, so you can't, hands will pass through stuff. People must take the study action, new term,
Oh,
to
wow.
inspect your appearance and succeed on an intelligence investigation check against your spell save. So in other words, or just make an investigation check, whatever. But yes, so it does not, it specifically says it changes the look, but not sound. Alter form, or alter self, I think that actually does change your sound, because you're changing your vocal cords. Your vocally cocos. Didn't like that one?
No.
Like stummy? Okay.
Can anyone do impressions?
No.
Tenacity. You do know something about overbearing tieflings and kind of being bosses, though. I'd like you to give me an insight roll.
That is a 16.
You certainly think that what Wa'apa Ino is saying is a good plan. And one thing you could do to maybe like grease the wheels for yourself is if you rushed in and were gripping your throat and kind of spoke in kind of spoke in gleam or something, and you could act like she just punched you in the throat or something to disguise your voice. And then you would probably I would let you make your choice of deception or performance. Are you proficient in either of those?
Nope.
Okay. You're still. I know you're still high charisma. You got Riz.
Can I do Sky Self and then Minor Illusion at the same time?
Yes, actually you can, because Minor Illusion, Disguise Self just lasts for an hour and it's not concentration. And Minor Illusion, you could do that.
Because it says I can create someone else's voice.
Wow, so you can, yeah, that's, wow, okay. Yeah, you can, I think it's probably very short what you could say, but yeah, you could, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, today I learned that Disguise Self is not concentration.
Yeah. Disguise Self, Alter Self is, and Disguise Self famously is not.
Famously.
Because it's like, it's supposed to be it's so like, doesn't hold up to anything. Like, like if you walk through a puddle, like you're, like it's just, it's a total, like, illusion. So okay. So
but when you're 3 branches away in Torchlight.
There you go. Good. So Tenacity, if you wish to go, tell everyone that they have to rush out after restitution. You definitely could do that. You could walk up on the thing and make your voice sound like him, and just, provided you're convincing enough, you can maybe get everybody to rush out.
Is this what we're doing? Is this what?
I think this is the best plan we have, and it should buy us enough time to both converse and or
run away. Yeah. Okay.
Incapacitate.
Oh, yes, that is also what I was thinking. Okay. So I'll cast Disguise Self.
Okay. Instantly, Tenacity suddenly looks exactly like that gentleman who you all saw down below.
Is he handsome?
I'm gonna roll. Oh my god. 96th percentile of handsomeness. This guy better looking than Luck.
Whoa.
Ooh.
Shocker.
That's okay. That's fine.
Shocker.
Good for him.
Okay.
Who's got the best cheekbones in the biz? Is it James Marsden? Just thinking of dudes with like
the best cheekbones. I don't know.
Angelina Jolie.
Yeah, Angelina Jolie.
Keira Knightley.
Cillian Murphy.
That's
Orlando Bloom.
All right, Google, let's give you something else to be confused about me. Men with great cheekbones. Into the algorithm, you
Tom
go.
Hiddleston.
Tom Hiddleston.
Willem.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
Willem Dafoe.
I'm into that.
All right, it's Will. Yeah, honestly, because this guy's a heavy
First time
and a villain,
that's ever been said.
it's Willem Dafoe.
As hot as Willem Dafoe.
This guy is like Willem Dafoe fuckable, you guys. You don't even understand.
Don't even joke about.
Look up, hey everybody, look up Willem Dafoe in the 1984 film Streets of Fire, when he's wearing the leather overalls, and then you'll understand what we're talking about.
I'm into it.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Oh my god.
All right. Well, now I have to.
Okay, well. Whoa, the shadowing on that is...
Wow, so young.
So Walter Hill movie, it's really good.
He's like a natural vampire.
He is.
Phenomenal.
Yeah. All right, so, well, there was a little thing. Point being, Tenacity, you look exactly like Willem Dafoe Tiefling. And cheekbones on point. So yeah. Are you just gonna walk right onto the catwalk and
She's gonna like psych herself up first.
Of course.
Yeah, but then she will. There's one guy up there, right?
There are 2 guys sitting on the catwalk, but
2 guys. Okay, yeah. And they have drinks.
They do, yeah.
Okay. And we're 30 feet high.
I think we said 20, so it wasn't quite as lethal, but yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, so someone would get hurt, but they could walk it. They'd limp away.
We could die.
You guys could die. Like they also could like jump down onto a table below and be fine if they needed to. It probably is more like 15. Let's yes, people would be fine. Sure.
Okay. Alrighty.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah. Actually, can she grab something to throw?
Sure.
So she'll throw whatever the fuck, a bowl, whatever. What is her name? Restitution stole all the cards, you idiots. Go get her.
So you are going to walk out onto the catwalk, looking like him,
Yes.
having thrown a bowl.
Just for attention-getting purposes.
Okay. There's a clatter. Understood. You say, Restitution stole the cards, you idiots, after her. Are you saying this in Gleam or in Key
Yes.
Speech?
Gleam.
Gleam. Okay. Go ahead and make a perform or deceive perform roll or deceive. It's the same for you, so it's a +4.
There's no wiggle room on that?
Pitch me something.
Persuasion?
Okay, go ahead and do a persuasion. Persuasion, but it better work now.
18.
With an 18, you storm in and you sort of say this with such sort of conviction and persuasion that everyone looks at you. And the Dragonborn kind of blinks up at you for a moment. No, this really should have been... It would have been a 16 with a perform. I'm realizing it needs to be performed because you're having to move your mouth in time with your own minor illusion. So
Fine,
there's
yes,
no
it would
lip
have been a
flap.
16.
Okay, we'll say it's a 16. However, Crusade, or the Dragonborn, who's like up there, like looks up and kind of just says like, "What did you say, Crusade? Restitution's done what? How'd you get over here?" But other people downstairs like are already sort of moving, but there is like the two right in front of you. He's like he hasn't moved yet. He looks very confused.
Did you not hear me? I said she stole the cards and you need to go get them.
The other one
Now.
says, the other one goes, "What's he saying? What is Crusade saying?" Go ahead and do another roll. I'll let you do persuade on this, but we'll see.
Oh, this is gonna be persuade?
It can be persuade.
Okay, 15.
15. Are you proficient in intimidate?
No.
What are you proficient in?
Stealth, persuasion, insight, and arcana.
I guess you only get 4. Okay, fine. So, as you sort of do this it's a 15 to persuade. Okay. The one back there, as you're sort of saying this more stuff, the one there's like, what's he saying? But the one kind of just shakes his head and he sort of says in key speech, he says, "Restitution, go out, come on," and he sort of stumbles up and like they'll go along the catwalk and go down the steps. And not everyone has left. Some of them are sort of looking up confused, but several of them have rushed out.
How many are left?
There's like 2 or 3 down there, just like still at the card table. Like, where's that? Like half standing up, just like looking around, looking up. At, like one of them sees you and then is like, okay, and starts walking out. But like a couple more seem a little confused.
So the guys on the catwalk, they're just like seated?
No, the guys on the catwalk, they went, but
okay.
That Dragonborn seems very suspicious.
On the ground?
He's like climbing down a rope ladder or something. Yeah, but he's going.
Okay, but he's going.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine.
Okay. So what are you doing? Are you summoning your team? On the catwalk?
We do that little turn on the catwalk.
Is that... Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
I mean, if he's like watching me, no.
Tell you what. He kind of looks up and kind of glances, but then he does leave the chamber. And,
Okay. In the direction of the other ones? Or
Yeah,
in a different...
where the others
okay.
went. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. So I was acceptably convincing. I think.
Great work.
You come back out.
You if you're sort of summoning, you guys should probably go right now. If you should move
let's
with
go.
speed. Okay.
Let's go.
Cobalt, because this is your area of expertise, although Kha'rack, I think you're also decent at this. Give me that survival, that sweet tracking. Somebody give me a survival check to track, to navigate.
18.
Cobalt is bringing it with the tracking every time. Very impressive, Cobalt.
Because I can see the future, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, honestly, I bet you're like, I know which way to turn before I do. Turn off the targeting computer. Okay, so you, as you begin running them like across the catwalk, you go through the entrance there. You could tell it isn't sure enough. You find a set of steps leading to a heavy door that is clearly like a more defended point. And as you guys sort of get down to that door, no one else has been around. You can hear voices speaking in Gleam on the other side of that door. It sounds very much like Restitution and this crusade, this other tiefling.
Does it sound like there's...
Do we hear any?
From them?
So I didn't hear you, Dan. Go ahead. Go again.
Does it sound like there's just the two of them, or can you hear other voices?
Make a perception check.
The same thing.
What number, Dan?
13.
13. Those are the only voices you hear.
Right.
Can anyone hear what they're saying?
Tenacity and Luck, if you guys... they're speaking Gleam, so the two of you can tell that they're sort of saying some... They're just talking about the box. They're talking about magic, talking about charms and things like that.
I heard them shout crusade. Does that ring a bell for anyone?
That's just his name.
Yes.
Oh.
Yep. So tieflings we typically have we're typically named single word names. Usually.
Thank you. I was actually talking to Tenacity. Tenacity, but do you know a crusade?
Do I?
Roll a d20.
9.
Nope.
Have I heard of?
Nah.
No. Okay. No. Not. No.
So, there's a door. You've gotten here. You don't know when everyone will wise up. Tenacity, you suspect. Tenacity, do you still look like Crusade? Or
I
are you
mean,
dropping
the spell
that?
lasts for an hour.
I think you can drop it, though, right?
What if I need it in like 49 minutes?
Well, that's a great point, although I don't know that you can...
Sounds like the problem for 49 minutes from now, yo.
I would leave it on unless I hear this door start to open.
Oh,
then
I guess
I would...
you don't. It doesn't say you can just...
Hey, the question is, do we want to go in and talk to them, or do we want to go in hot?
It doesn't sound like you can, it doesn't sound like you can drop it.
All right, I have an idea.
I'll just put a hood on.
It does nothing.
How about-
You look exactly the same.
Well,
But I mean, like,
recognize
you know,
you
hide
just-
my face.
No, it does
Consider-
nothing. You pull the hood on and the illusion's still there. There's like a hood sticking out of the side.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, Cobalt and Luck, I know you both want to converse with the lady. I can't remember. Restitution and the other one. Anyway, I was just thinking, if you both want to talk, we could all stay out here. If you want it to be a little bit less of an intimidation situation, and then you drop a keyword, and you're ready for us to rush in, or we all just go in.
All right.
We
Um,
drop a keyword and we just run out.
The word is smorgasbord.
Smorgasbord.
Word is smorgasbord.
Shouldn't it be a faster to say word?
The word is smorgasbord.
My divinations have said it. The only word that works.
Oh. Oh yeah.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. We'll go in. Would you like to go in and talk?
I mean, yeah, I'd love it if you would accompany me.
All right. Everyone else, hold the door, please.
So
After
Luck
you.
and Cobalt are going to go in.
I'm gonna try and open the door.
Do you need help opening it?
Well, it depends on
The
if it's
door
locked.
the door is not locked, but as you sort of pull it open, the voices within stop in sort of some surprise. And Cobalt and Luck, as you open the door and are standing there, you are met with it is kind of like a small office. Looks like it looks like the kind of place a pirate captain would have hung out, but it's been redecorated a few times. But there's kind of like a desk, and there's a lot of books and tomes, and you also see there are so many decks of cards all around in this sort of musty chamber. There is no window, but there seems to be some kind of like between a couple of roots, maybe something that would sort of lend, because like smoke is drifting up there, so there's some kind of natural ventilation. Restitution is sort of sitting on the desk pouring over stuff. Crusade is sort of standing behind the desk looking over, but as you both look up, these two tieflings just like turn and look at you.
As you walk, I have my hands up.
Restitution just immediately draws a knife and says, I am surprised to see you here.
Well, you left us no other option to figure out what's going on than tracking you down, so.
How did you get in here?
Yeah, what does it matter?
Gentleman never kisses and tells, right?
Sort of Crusade will sort of say in key speech, because that's what she's talking to you two in. He looks at Luck, kind of sizes him up. He's like, he's not that big a deal. He'll look at Cobalt and, damn, this is the good looking group though, isn't it? Jesus. These are the handsomes. Yeah. But as he kind of looks you two over.
Restitution is a room with 3 incredibly hot people.
Restitution's like, oh my god, like, what if, like, oh my god, are you guys gonna fight over me or something? This is crazy. But as he's kind of looking at you, he says, no, the manner by way in which of having done gotten in is of most interesting to myself.
I'll speak to him in Gleam and just say, we can talk about that later.
Right now we want to talk about the cards.
Kind of, they exchange a look. Restitution says, in Gleam, Cobalt, so I guess you don't understand this part, she'll say, they were both at the meeting last night. And he'll say...
Very, very quietly, Tenacity's like, she's saying they were both at the meeting last night.
And he will say, she says, there were several others there as well, but... And he says...
well, none of them were as charming as we, so...
I am very happy to speak to you about the cards. Restitution will say, actually, one other one was as charming as them, a tiefling. Her name was Tenacity. She was like equal level to these two in terms of hotness. but she honestly, in my opinion, Crusade, she's hotter because she doesn't like talk about it all the time. She
has really good taste.
She's much more like how and maybe it's a gendered thing, I don't know, she's hot and she doesn't even know it, you know what I mean? It's that but in any case, as Crusade is just like, well, you wish to talk about the cards? Well, that is what we are in the business of doing. However, you have entered a private and secret space only for initiates in our order. And you've done so through some treachery that either needs to be explained
or in a show of good faith.
Yes. I'm looking for one of those because otherwise I'm going to kill you both.
Yes. Well, in a show of good faith, I'll say that we came in through the back window.
Oh. Somebody will need a flogging for that.
Better make sure they don't enjoy it too much.
Oh, your friends are interesting, Restitution. Say they're not my friends, but again, high charisma. I get it. Why they're good at talking.
Yeah. Yes, we're not. I mean, I would not call us friends, more acquaintances. But
so you have also drawn from. I guess if you're talking Cobalt, he'll switch to key speech and say, "Oh, so you are also having been sketched out a deck. You have also."
Yes,
sketched...
I will.
Draw.
Okay, I just don't think I have no reason to suspect that this guy might speak any other languages I know, so I'm just gonna keep going in key speech.
Yeah, it's fine.
Um,
It's totally intelligible in key speech. You also see that box is on the thing, and he just has his hand like on it.
and yes, we're not here to take anything that's not ours. We are just a group of people who are quite curious about what is going on in the world and what is happening.
A group. So
And
there are more
I
of
mean,
you?
we all have a vested interest in the cards,
How
and
many
I feel
of
like these
you
vested interests could be mutually beneficial.
How many of you are being here already?
Well, more than us.
Oh.
You didn't think we would so confidently walk in to your inner sanctum without.
He says, well, that does make me more nervous. He then sort of begins to cast a spell. And suddenly, hanging between you, Luck, and Cobalt, is a glowing, spectral deck of cards that is riffling like this. Either of you could do an Arcana check on that.
I have a +0, so I don't fucking know this shit.
Sure.
Oh no. 4.
4. You're not sure what it is. You're just like, oh, crazy, it's a deck of cards. But he sort of is saying, so now I will need more answers, and I will need you to put your weapons on the ground and invite all your friends in to do the same. Any spell-casting focuses, I will need those to be being put on the ground as well. And Restitution is kind of, she's got 2 knives out and is just ready to tingle.
Does Restitution look like she's like ready to jump to his aid, or like she's trying to assess what's about to go down?
Ooh, a great thing. Make an insight roll.
Is there wait, 24 has a thing where I can take like a persuade action or something, right? To like try to change people's opinion, like going from like
Oh yeah, so a lot of that stuff in combat or in like combat
that's all in
stuff
combat?
is not well. It's like it doesn't work when you're about to fight, but yes, it's called attitude, I think. If you can look that up if you want to. I think there is a thing, but I don't know.
I just kind of like want to simmer the situation
Understood.
down.
Okay,
I'd like
well
to-
we can you can do a persuade roll for that point. Cobalt, how did you do on your insight?
I rolled a 22 on my insight.
Okay, so you think that she's definitely gonna fight with this guy, probably because she thinks he'll win. But if you guys just murder him instantly, she will be like, "Oh, thank you so much for rescuing me," and like she'll be like, "Luck, I'm so happy you're here." You know.
I would think that. I would think that she would be like, "Luck, I'm so happy you're here."
No, you suspect that like you don't think she'd mean it. You suspect that she is on this guy's side unless he loses real quick, and then she could pivot to you guys. That's your suspicion on Restitution.
Yeah.
But
So I would say like I there's no need for us to get heated here. We're all again interested in the cards. And I rolled a 17.
he'll say, precisely then, put your weapons on the ground, invite your friends in to do the same. I think you guys are hearing all of this out there as well.
Yeah, but is it in key? No, right?
No, that's in key because he's saying it to Cobalt.
Oh, okay.
But he hasn't said the word.
Did you say smorgasbord?
Is it?
I think so.
Well, because we're not trying to rush in and kill them yet.
So the question is, Luck and Cobalt, do you put your weapons down and call for the others? Luck, you've tried to settle things, and you sense there was a certain degree of him, like he's very happy if you're willing to talk, but he's giving you the conditions under which he'll do so.
Yeah, I'll put my weapon down.
Okay.
I'm doing it like slowly, like I'm like being very careful with it, like I care about,
Sure.
you know.
Yeah. And do you call the others in?
Yes. Everyone else, you come on in.
Can I grab Tenacity and Kha'rack
Mhm.
to see if they would stay back while Wappa and I go in? Or just...
Sure, you can. That's no rolls required if you kind of hold them and you're like, kind of gesturing like stay here. So yeah, if you and Wappa walk in with Kha'rack and Tenacity being held back, you two
I'll
step
follow
in.
Zeely's lead.
Wappa and Zeely, you see that there's this like deck of cards kind of just held there. Make an Arcana check. You've studied certain magics and things. Actually, this
Yes,
is
I
a. Do you have religion? No. Then yeah, this. 11. You suspect you've actually seen a mage cast something like this before. You think this may be a spiritual weapon.
Do I have...
Wappa's slowly gonna reach out to the cards to kind of grab one.
Okay. Oh, I'll tell you what. If you do that, I'm gonna allow him to use this in this other way. If you sort of reach for one, you will take 1 point of force damage. As it like snaps at your hand.
Oh.
And he says, "Manners, please, are being a useful thing to be showing in a tense scenario situationship."
And you are all lowering your weapons as well, yes?
Absolutely not. You've come here uninvited. But you seem to have a curiosity about the cards. So, let's have a little chat. Are you going to set your weapon down, Zeely? Or are you going to set down your Lapras axe? That seems to be what they've sort of said you guys need to do.
But they haven't said it to me directly.
I think Restitution probably gestures. Wappa she knows doesn't need a weapon, so she's extra cautious on him. Poor Wappa Ino's finger hurts. Mousetrap.
They just said something.
Yeah.
Can she see anything else besides that?
See, what do you mean see?
Can they see any other weapons?
No, they only see your axe.
Okay. I'll set it down at my feet.
Okay. You set your axe down, and as they're sort of kind of glaring at the two of you, he will say, "Wonderful," and the spiritual weapon will disappear. So, Restitution, however, she still has her knives out. She's not backing off. But Crusade will sort of say, "So, you are coming here asking about the cards, having as vested of interest as I am already having."
Yes. I mean, have you also drawn?
Oh. Tell me, is it, Woundmaker, who you have been drawing from? Or perhaps Ziola? Is this the one who has altered your lives?
Personally, I do not remember.
Oh. You are not remembering. Then perhaps atonement. Perhaps it is being atonement. Suffice it to say, I have never drawn, but I once carried one of those decks.
Which?
Guess.
The first one. The one that Atonement. You said Atonement had?
Yes. He kind of looks at you like, okay, maybe she is something. But yes, he used to have Atonement's deck. He used to have
Many things.
the deck of many things.
Oh. And why did you give it up? I say in green.
He's asking why he gave it up.
Kha'rack is just... He will sort of turn to you and sort of say, in Gleam, someone I cared for very deeply drew from the deck. They attained something incredible. They offered to share it with me if only I would forego this deck. Sort of, to use a gambler's parlance, to, cash in while I was still hot. Cash out while I was still hot. I did so, and have always regretted it.
Someone he loved swindled him and he lost everything.
That seems very complicated.
That is what the cards are. Beautiful, unexpected complications. A shot in the arm to a life. The power to transform. And this deck, this new deck, must see the light of day. Do you agree? He looks from Cobalt to Luck to Wapi Ino to Z.
I think that it sort of depends. I see that one of them, I don't. If all of them are like the card that was shown to us by that horrible Goliath, then I don't know about that. But I don't have any intrinsic. Everyone makes their own luck, so.
That card's that deck's like complete. It works.
This deck, no. Well, I don't know. I suspect there is at least one card within this sealed box. I don't know that Acid Frost ever managed to open it, but there is some long-lost thing in here. A card complete, ready to be activated and shared, and once they're all done and a deck can be formed, what wonders can we create? What long-lost things can be returned to the world? But I don't know how to open it.
Do you mind if I use a little power to determine the nature of it?
Go ahead. He sort of backs off, and he'll allow you to do.
I'll walk up slowly to the box, just put one hand out on top of it, and then close my eyes and cast Identify.
Wonderful. I thought you might. One thing I'm not sure about Identify is...
Would you like me to read the spell for you?
You know what? You can. For me and for everyone.
Yes.
And any of our raiders watching, hello.
Yes. Oh, hello, Raiders.
Hello, Raiders.
I forgot
Touch an
to...
object throughout the spell's casting. If the object is a magic item or some other magical object, you learn its properties and how to use them, whether it requires attunement, and how many charges it has, if any. You learn whether any ongoing spells are affecting the item and what they are. If the item was created by a spell, you learn that spell's name. If you instead touch a creature, blah, 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 doesn't matter, unless it turns out to be a creature.
You know what? This individual doesn't have this spell. He can't do this. So... you actually will sort of gain the sort of truest whatever of this. I'm also realizing Pierce told me I should change like the game we're playing to D&D, but I didn't. We're just on TTRPG, so whatever. I'll never remember. The end. Cobalt. You spend a tense minute casting this. Tenacity is probably periodically whispering to Kha'rack, no one's saying anything. It's very kind of white knuckling. At the end of your casting, Cobalt Rainsilver, you do learn that this is a rather sort of, it's like probably like an uncommon or even a common magical item. It's just a box that has a command word that if you speak it, it will open it. The next part of this, you're not totally certain of how, I mean, you'll get it because of this stuff, but it's basically, if you force this box open or open it any other way, there can be a rather disastrous effect. Where something within it will be unleashed. But if you say the command word, which I believe you know, because it says you know how to use it, you will learn the command word so you could speak a word and open it, and whatever's inside the box will then be available.
Okay.
And I will tell you that command word.
Oh wow.
If you would like to, I'll just say it because I'll text it to you.
Yeah. All right.
I'll message it to you privately because that's more fun. What languages do you speak again?
I speak Celestial, Key Speech, Royal Tongue, and Uplander.
Understood. You'll know it.
Papa Eno's slowly walking closer to Cobalt during all this, by the way. Well, really the box, but uncomfortably close to you.
Yeah.
All right. So then, so this minute passes, and then I will open my eyes and let go of the box and say, and I'll basically explain. Yes, it's locked by a command word, and if it's forced open by anything else, any other way, there will be some ill-intended effect.
He rolls very high and believes you. What wonderful cooperation we're all showing for our shared goal. Yes. Have you learned this command word? My very useful friend. Why not speak it and open it for us all to behold?
Well, I just want to make sure that we are clear on we're all, and again, we are cooperating here. I want to make sure. I'm happy to. I just want to make sure that we are on the same page about what happens.
Yeah.
After, like, again, we do not. I cannot speak for anyone else in this room.
Thank you.
But Sorry.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Yes, Celia. I don't know what is. I don't know what's inside. I just want assurances that once you have what you want, you're not going to discard us or otherwise.
Oh, once I have what I want, you won't want. You'll be in cooperation. You'll see the power. We'll all see the power. Let us open it.
Can I do an insight check on this guy?
Of course.
I would also like to insight check him because I'm proficient in that.
You guys both may insight check him.
Rolled an 8. Very disappointing.
I rolled a 10, so
You do not sense any deliberate malfeasance on his part. It is 9:30. So I'm gonna say that as Cobalt considers this, out in the hallway, Tenacity and Kha'rack, you hear a grumbling voice and some steps moving in and saying, something's wrong with this. I can't, don't. And he kind of comes around the corner. If you two want to hide, you may make a stealth roll right now to try to hide around a corner or in a shadow, but you know what's going on. The Dragonborn is kind of coming and looking for the boss.
18.
Kha'rack?
15.
You both do slip into the shadows and you see him coming around the hall. He's going straight for the door. And as he walks to the door and you two are like, are we doing anything? Are we letting this happen? Cobalt Rain Silver, as you consider speaking the command word. Actually, wait, Cobalt, what do you do?
I get ready to say the command word.
Do you say it?
Yes.
No.
Go ahead and say it.
Oh no. No.
Does anyone
Yes.
here speak Infernal?
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Those of you
Do
who
I?
I don't. Let me look.
If there's a card in there, I want to grab it.
Well, we'll
Find out next week.
I think
on
you're gonna
Dragon Ball.
want to do a lot of things. Let me see.
Oh, we just lost our leverage.
I don't think you speak Infernal, Luck. I have
Oh,
you as,
really?
I have you as Key Speech, Laughing Little Gleam, and Silent Speech. Zeely speaks Infernal.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
So Zeely, you know that he just said the word horn in Infernal. The kind of horn referring to a devil's horn. At this point, the box opens. there is a card within. Those of you in the room looking at the card see that it depicts a forked weapon, sort of like a trident, but it has a sort of very fiendish vibe. At the bottom of the card is written, "The Pitchfork." And as this opens, a wave of energy washes across everyone. That's where we're going to end this session. And you all now level up to level 2, because every time a card is revealed, you will gain 1 level.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's going to work in the game.
I had a question.
Yeah.
How are we doing hit points?
I know that... Oh dear, do we want to roll hit points, or do we want to be safe, or we want to be dramatic?
How do I level?
How do you level?
Carefully.
Very. How do you guys want to do hit
Manage
points?
character and levels. I found it.
Do we want to do average hit points, or do we want to do? For Melina, if you're just the difference here is you can either have a set number of hit points you go up every time and it's kind of safe, or you can roll the dice for your hit points, so you might get like barely any, or you might but you might get way more.
Can we roll, but like re-roll if we get the 1?
Nope, I don't do that nonsense. If you want to roll, you're rolling. There has to be risk. If you can't roll a 1 on rolled hit points, then it's like obviously you'll do that, because the opportunities that drives me crazy. You're either rolling or you're taking. Just if we don't want to do it, if you don't want to risk it, that's fine. Just take it.
Can we each make this choice individually?
I guess so.
All right, I'm fucking rolling.
Of course you are.
Rolling.
Do you want to roll? Or do you want to take the?
I guess we're rolling. It is the deck game.
It is a deck game. Oh wait, you want to draw for it?
No.
I rolled a 7 on the die, so I'm happy.
Very good.
What do we roll for?
It depends on your class. Are you?
I'm doing D6. I'm guessing.
Yeah, a sorcerer is a D6. I more strongly recommend you taking the 4.
Do I have to do the same thing every time?
I guess not. Yeah, roll this time, and if it's terrible, then you can change in the future. Are you gonna roll?
No, I'll just take the 4.
We'll take the 4. If you're gonna roll that. But you hope you roll a 6 or higher, so like a 50-50 chance of it.
I don't know how to do this.
I will help people with the leveling up. Do you want to roll for it, Kha'rack, or do you want to?
I think it did it all anyways.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll for it, but which one do I roll?
Roll a D8.
A D8. Okay.
And you just want to make sure you roll a 5 or higher, basically.
Six.
There you go. All right.
Woo.
Mildly better than the stuff. Okay, we'll do that.
We're locked to D8, is that right, or no?
Yeah, you are a D8.
All right. 4. All right.
Yeah. There you go. Could have been worse, but yeah. All right.
Is there like a level up button?
I think there is. We probably won't. That's a bummer. Erin did not roll so well for her paladin. Could have been worse, but
Pretty good. It's pretty good.
I rolled a 3.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Well, on that note, everybody, that is where we're going to end the session. We'll deal with the leveling up later, because I know people will need more or less assistance with such things. There's a way to do it on D&D Beyond. But thank you all for watching. Thanks for our raiders for joining us. We do have some other games on the channel. On Friday night, we have the final 3 sessions of our long-running epic horror game, Blood from a Stone. And that'll be Friday at 7:30 p.m. Pacific here. You can see Dan in that game, and one of the final chances to watch his various beloved characters. He's got 2 vampires now. That's pretty cool. Yeah. On Sunday, you can join us for a new sort of short-term game we'll be doing for the rest of the year. Vonda requested something a little horror. It's gonna be fun and maybe a little silly. But also not silly at all, just cool and awesome and just like edgy as hell. This is a game called Monster the Ravaging. So if you're
I'm very excited now.
If you're interested in those like Vampire the Masquerade, World of Darkness games, gothic punk, Just come check that out if you want to hear everyone describe their glossy leather costumes. You'll get the vibe of that. And then on Monday we're back with the Dreamlands. Sherlock's pick this week is the Shine option. Shine. His option is to basically go back to CC7722. It's kind of a meta nonsense about Nightmare Rider, some game there's done. So come check that out. Gonna be fun stuff. But as of now, I think that is the winning one. So check that out. We have go to our Discord to interact with us, our YouTube to watch old episodes, our wiki to see how all these games go together, and we also, all these players do cool stuff, so follow all their socials. Would anybody like to plug anything specific this week?
Friday morning, Pierce and I will finish up Lorelei and the Laser Eyes.
Nice.
Very, very moody, puzzly narrative game about art and identity.
Very cool.
Nice.
Anybody else? Oh, get
I don't
Anna's
have
book.
anything.
Oh, here, and it's Andrew's trying. That's
Oh, that's
here on
yours.
Twitch.
Get Anna's book. Anna plays in her Sunday game. Eat Happy Italian. It's available now on Amazon and a lot of places. And click on her link in our About page. It's very cool stuff. Well, great. Well, everybody, thank you so much for being here. Thanks for rating in. Thanks for being in chat. Hope you enjoyed this one. Players, congratulations on making it to level 2. Now you genuinely do become harder to kill now.
Yes.
There is an absolute thing of like one random little bit probably won't kill you now. I mean, unless it's from like a decent shot, and then it'll kill you. Until next time.
Oh my.
Yeah. You're not safe, but it's a big improvement. Thank you
I mean,
so much.
you go to get 50% more hit points for one level, which is like the only time that ever happens.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Basically.
True.
Thank you all. Until next time. When the cards are on the table, you got. Oh wait. Oh my God. Why haven't I been saying this? Hold on. We got it. Okay. Until next time. Know when to hold 'em. Know when to fold 'em. Yeah. Kenny, baby.